Hey everyone, this is Blackbinder, and welcome back to the Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Last time we left off, we got betrayed by Rauatai. They wanted us to kill Queen Onikaza, but that is not something I'm going to agree to, and they wouldn't even let me leave after I said no, so we are here now to talk to Director Castol.
Watcher, at last, someone who can answer my questions. They're saying there was an attack at the Spire. I fear I'd sent you to your death. None of the Huana guards will tell us a thing, and Flaune's message is illegible. What happened?
You don't know that it's the frickin' Royal Deadfire Company. The Royal Deadfire Company sent some mercenaries to kill everyone in the Spire. I got back just in time.
The Royal Deadfire Company? I didn't realize they were even aware of our efforts. I'm glad you're in one piece, Watcher. I'll have the details out to Flaune, I think. You've more than earned your reward. And my trust. Oh, and perhaps you'd consider stopping by Alvari's office. I believe she'll want some assurances as to the state of the Spire.
Okay.
I won't claim to shed any tears for Hazanui Karu, but there is a reason we haven't resorted to such direct methods, Watcher. Now then, was there something you needed? I'll answer what I can, of course.
I did not attack him or her. She attacked
was
me.
A dangerous man, Watcher. And you've just put a target on your back for every man and woman standing behind him. On our backs, I should say. Now then.
I didn't kill Itsura either.
I'm still trying to make sense of the Countess to report. He is not a man given to colorful language, and yet, what has emerged from Margaren's teeth? From the moment I first sighted these islands, I knew they would be the birthplace of a new age. Something unimaginable. Interesting times we live in, you and I. Now then, Watcher.
Alright, I guess that's everything. For now, we need to talk to Alvari downstairs. Let's talk to this dwarf person again.
Ado, what? I hope you aren't staying too long. Insanity seems to follow you, and I just finished reordering the shelves. Oh, I'm very glad you survived, of course. What can I do for you today? Ado, I'm still not sure how to account for these losses in the reports. Divine interference? An act of the gods? What can I do? Ado, this is a dangerous situation the Animancers have gotten us into. I am glad you were there when the fighting began. Let can barely hold a sword. What? Ado, I'm glad we could put the final stamp on this Pocokohara situation. Sadly, it isn't uncommon for teams to simply disappear out there. It was terrible, not knowing what to tell their families. What can... Ado, defeating the Royal Deadfire Company at sea is one thing, but an assassination? If this doesn't bring the Ranganui down on us, we can call it divine luck. What can I do?
They attacked me.
Ado, are you never homesick? I would do anything for a good, home-cooked Vailian dinner. What can I... Ado. What can I...
Okay. Now we can leave.
You must gather...
We need to talk to Alvari, but she is downstairs. And then I'm sure once we finish her quest, we'll need to go back up to Castol and talk to him. Guess I really expected you to be coming here more often and talking to people.
I can't decide if the gods must love or hate you, Watcher. Perhaps both. Volcanoes, giant waves. Mel, I've had my fill of this island. It involves no divinities, but I do have some news for you as well. I have decided to take action with regards to Castol's incompetence. I have called together a meeting of the Songreta Mea Compressa. Our esteemed investors have come to hear Director Castol's excuses for squandering their fortunes. You've witnessed Castol's mistakes personally, and you know what is at stake for us with Ukaizo. The council we want to hear from you, the Cantonucesi in particular. The company needs new leadership. Leadership that can make effective use of its most important allies. Let us start here, striking a fine impression before the wealthiest men and women in Eora.
I will tell them the truth.
Will you? When you and the truth are on such poor terms, you will attend the trial, I hope. Your testimony is a vital part of the proceedings.
Alright, let's get this over with.
Indeed. Come.
Upstairs, back upstairs.
You must gather your party.
I don't think Castell's really that bad of a guy. I think he was shoved into the slaver business, or the situation with the slavers, not that he wanted to be.
Silence, please. I'd like to get us underway.
Director Castell's office is nearly unrecognizable through the milling crush of bodies. The chamber is suffocatingly warm, and several of the occupants jostle for a place beside the window. To a one, the people around you are dressed in rich fabrics, or else the occasional piece of armor. Few of them look especially pleased to be here. Despite the cacophony that greets you when you arrive, a quiet descends swiftly upon the room upon the barest hand gesture from the man now standing behind the desk. The Contaniche's gaze sweeps across the room, eventually settling on you.
I see you have wasted little time in involving yourself, Lord.
Around him, several of the onlookers crane their necks to see who the Conta is addressing.
Dr. Castell, Governor Alvari, you are both here?
Indeed, Your Excellency.
Castell's face is splotchy and damp with sweat. He looks as if he may be ill.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Alvari wears a restrained smile.
And this is to be your witness?
Execute a perfect flourish as you bow. One of the Vailian nobles gestures airily for you to
I
rise.
see the foreign airs put a bend in his spine.
Most esteemed guests, this is the Watcher of Cadnua.
We were sorry to hear of Cadnui's fall, Lord. How interesting to find you here. You have my sympathies.
Thank you.
I have several connections in the White March. I have always wanted to meet the man behind the stories.
Let us begin, if the clerks will attend the roll. Albina Carnetto, Duke Remasi Storanzo Miscelona, the Archmage.
Devils take your roll, Nero. This isn't the Songretta Ducala. We are all here. Let's get this over with.
Oi, Cap. Putting bullets in this room's puffed up jackets would be doing Aora 3 favors and a half. Just saying.
He straightens after his whispered comment, a hand resting lightly on the grip of his weapon.
If this goes badly, at least there's enough wealth in this room to cover our funeral expenses several times over.
Very well. Then let me extend my sincerest thanks to our shareholders in attendance.
Wait politely.
In deference to present company, we will proceed in Edira. Director Castell, you stand accused of nothing less than gross incompetence, mismanaging of resources, willful deceit, grave charges all.
A low murmur stirs up around you as the crowd reacts.
We have examined the evidence available to us. The numbers are not in your favor, Director. But you will have the opportunity to explain yourself. Now, Alvari.
Agrasima, Your Excellency. Esteemed Council, I bear Maestro Castle no ill will. We have always treated one another with great respect, but his time is past. I put it plain, the company is bleeding resources. We have identified numerous sources of Adra, and yet, how much of it ever reaches the Republics? The expedition to Pococahara was but the latest failure. Trained workers and supplies gone, and for nothing.
I was able to restore the Audra vein. It can still be harvested.
You mean to say that the vein was secured in the end?
Well, that is... yes, Your Excellency, but...
A strange argument. We are concerned with results, Alvari. As far as I can see, the expedition was a success.
I have more, Your Excellency. Your coin, lords and ladies. Where has it gone all this while? Not to mines and industry, no. The director has spent the bulk of it on frivolous experiments.
That is absurd. Animancy research has gotten us where we are today.
Precisely.
Enough, Alvari. Watcher, you have had some involvement in these experiments. Do you have anything to add?
The experiments worked. I was there.
Ah, working. Working well enough to invite open attack by the Royal Deadfire Company.
Well, if they're interested...
It truly works. You mean to say that the Animancers have learned how to transport people?
I'm sure you don't need me to tell you the practical applications.
Certainly not.
Your words are met with a sudden muted roar of animated whispers.
We have heard much of a Kaiser in recent days. I wonder, Director Castell, Just what are your plans for the fabled city?
Nero taps his quill against the desk in steady beats, looking on calmly.
Ukaizo holds an enormous quantity of a luminous Adra. Our research has already yielded results. If we can establish an outpost there, then...
Kestel has scarcely started his sentence when a handful of the gathered investors start to jeer at him.
If we take this opportunity, we can accomplish far more than we initially believed. I could make you rich, lords and ladies, beyond your wildest dreams.
You may be rich in a century or two. Have you that long to wait? Some of you perhaps, but all? Dreams are all Castle has to offer. We have scores of Adra sites mapped to detail. Why not focus our efforts there? Castle risks your fortune on illusions.
That is true. We have mapped these deposits for years. The closer we travel to Ondra's mortar, the denser the deposits. Even Alvari knows this.
There is a network of Adra at Ukaizo, that's why Aethys has gone there.
Much to my dismay, I can no longer dismiss that statement out of hand as lunacy.
Nero scrawls a small note onto a piece of parchment.
Even if there is Adra past the mortar, let us grind down the whole of it and be done with the place. Or will the Songreta war against the natives and sea monsters for the next 100 years?
We have heard a great deal this day. Alvari, have you any final arguments?
It's not looking good for Alvari.
Only this. That Director Castle has betrayed his station and our trust by allying himself with a Principe captain by the name of Furanti.
A Principe captain? You have evidence of this, Alvari? The word of a witness?
Nero looks to you, eyes narrowing thoughtfully. Kestel was trying to skirt Hawana law and wring some profit from the slave trade. A slaver has no business in Nekataka. I don't know, I'm gonna lie.
No, that's... Don't be ridiculous. You traveled to Crookspa on his behalf.
I'd never have anything to do with slavers. You can feel the mood turn as the merchant lords set irritable glares upon Alvari.
Then you have evidence, Alvari?
No, Your Excellency.
I must say, this casts your other accusations in poor light. I think we have heard enough. Any final words?
My lords, ladies, our enemies will make for Ukaizo in short order. The Vailian Trading Company must be ready. It needs decisive, effective leadership, now more than ever. With the Watcher's aid, we have the opportunity to claim an overwhelming victory. One that will carry us all into the history books.
Assuming he means to help us.
We will see, won't we?
You have heard all the accusations against you. Castal, any final words?
Everything I do to help the company. You know this. 2 years ago, you entrusted me to establish the luminous Adra trade. I will continue to serve you, dutifully, and to my best ability. I know now that Alvari has hungered after my position for years, just as she will hunt after yours if you allow her to rise. She would cast Margaret off her throne if she could.
Beside you, Alvari smiles. Kestel has been a great director. He deserves sustained power.
You inspire much loyalty, Castor. If only it were so amongst your own peers. It is time. Let us put the matter of Castor's dismissal to a vote. All in favor?
Around the room, only a scant few hands rise. As the second ticks past, the silence broken only by the dutiful scribbling of the clerks, it becomes clear that the majority favors Castol. Castol keeps his gaze fixed upon the floor, wringing his hands. Nearby, Alvari has gone still with shock, her mouth parts, gaping wordlessly. She turns a horrified look upon the Kanta.
You have overreached, Alvari. And the Songreta does not take kindly to being called away from our business to indulge your schemes. Sate your ambitions in the living lands. Lueva Alvari, I hereby strip you of your rank and title, and pronounce you exiled from the Vailian Trading Company and the Vailian Republics by order of the Songreta Mea Compressa.
This is a serious mistake. You can't do this to me.
I believe that brings this meeting to a close. Agressima Watcher.
Director Castell seems to be in a state of some shock. He is still staring at the doors. He turns to you with a startled jerk when you approach.
I must see the shareholders out, but please, let us speak afterwards.
Very well, let's speak.
The living lands. Poor Alvari. I cannot stop thinking on it. How easily it might have been my fate. All my achievements gone in an instant.
He spreads the fingers of one hand, mimicking a burst of air.
Well, she brought it on herself, didn't she? The members of the Songreta, they are not to be taken lightly.
What's the plan?
Well, I am still director, and our ambitions have not changed. We move forward. The council wishes for results, so we will give them results. Our enemies will not sit idly by while we claim Ukaizo. You have dealt them a blow already. We will have to hope that slows them down. We do have an advantage. Something no one else has discovered. A way through the storms. The Animancers have a device for your ship, something much like their equipment at the Spire. The fleet will meet you at the edge of Andra's Mortar and defend you from any threat that may arise. Once you are in position, the Animancers will transport your ship through the Between and to Ukaizo itself. The culmination of all your work.
My task will only be complete once I reach Aethys.
Of course, of course. I dare say nothing in this world can stop you, Aimiko. We have a single chance at this, Watcher. If you have any matters to resolve here in the city, I suggest you do so quickly.
Alright, we will, well, we are going to do some side quests first. I need to kill the Hellfire Colossus and that stupid spider that shattered my darn, Adair. I still don't know how I can stop from being petrified. Almost said penetrator. That's my ship's name. But, jeez, I wonder. Let me see if I still need to go talk to... Yeah, I don't have any quest to go... Yeah, Honor Among Thieves. I can't go talk to Ferrante or Aldous anymore, so... Well, that's good. I don't have to go back there.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
What I want to do is leave by sea. I bought a crap ton of rum, so we can now have a happy crew. Nope, not wrong one. Where's all my rum? Put the fresh fruit up here. 430 rum. It's +3 morale. That's awesome. Put the water up there as well. I guess I already had a bunch of beer, but this one isn't as good, so it's fine. Cuttlefish. Let's put the merkberries up there as well for when we run out of cuttlefish. They're both +1 morale, so it's not a big deal. Choo. Let's switch out my reserves. Any of you a surgeon? No. Alright, so all my people who are hurt are now healing. What is that? Harangi. Let's go to the Deck of Many Things, if I can find it. Is it Captain Thanik? Yes. Because I think I should have enough mechanics to get into his strong box now. Shoot, did I run into a storm?
You find yourself in cold, suffocating darkness. There is a familiar weight in your hand. A lantern. It sputters to life, and the world shifts into focus. A staircase spirals endlessly below you. With nowhere else to go, you start down. On every landing stands a door. Each one stranger than the last. Some are clear, made from glass or Audra. Others still are locked with chains and bars, or stand ajar, spilling inky gloom across the steps at your feet. You hear the ringing of a small bell far above you. It is joined by another, then another. The ringing rushes down the staircase with all the strength of a river. Your lantern sputters out and you are carried down into the dark. The torrent deposits you in front of an open door carved in the constellations of Aora. Each star indicated by a small golden stud. You step inside. A wave of blistering heat hits you. Then a sea salt wind. Divine voices boom and screech. Their words shake the platform beneath you, shake the very air around you. The gods are fighting.
Lay your blame elsewhere, Wodica. I won't suffer your arguments any longer.
Mogren looms large before you, an accusing finger leveled at the melted visage of Wodica. Wodica screws her mouth into a sneer.
You fool! If only we had attacked him when I first proposed it.
Accusations drip bitter as bile from her tongue.
I'll just wait until you're done.
Ah, if it isn't Bareth's intrepid little minion.
The pallid knight looks down at you, a frown etched deep in her otherwise statue-still features.
I am afraid we are not at our best.
The Watchers returned. Perhaps we should hear what he has to say.
Helia's birds chatter anxiously among themselves. Wal's many eyes alight on each god in turn.
We make little enough progress on our own.
Progress? Are you planning something new?
We try, but agreement eludes us.
Andra's storm-dark eyes swivel to meet yours.
Is there nothing we can do?
Mogren glances at the pallid knight from the corner of her eye. After a thoughtful pause, she speaks.
The time has come for us to seize the power we have long left untouched, and absorb our scattered children.
Andra nods, her lure bobbing bright.
Terrible though it would be, perhaps you are right.
Didn't Magrin mention this once before?
I did, and I was scolded like a child for my terrible audacity.
A curl of steam rises from her nose. The pallid knight looks on, impassive.
Should we be killed, we may possess the bodies of our godlike children. Or should we face a force too powerful to stand against, we can absorb their souls, granting us additional strength.
You mean Palagina and Takehu?
Helia's wayward daughter and Andra's precious son, yes. They would die. Them and thousands of others.
The pallid knight speaks with the chilly temperance, possessed only by the god of death.
Who's good? Yours?
We are your gods, forged of thousands upon thousands of willing souls sacrificed on the altar of progress. Yes, our good is greater, but the time for that plan has long passed us by.
Are we to keep nothing for ourselves? Not a single secret retained? Not a solitary mystery?
Mogren elbows one of Wal's floating eyes away.
Aethys will lay bare our every secret soon enough. What is one or two revealed now?
So the godlike actually are the children of the gods. Huh, that's cool.
But we get ahead of ourselves.
Or they have some
First,
power in them.
The Watcher must get to Ukaizo, and that will be a trial all its own.
Good, I could use a challenge.
Mogren smiles.
You might change your mind when you stand before it.
The Guardian of Ukaizo has stood watch over that place for millennia. It will not stand aside, not even for Bareth's herald.
Helia, who had been lost in quiet, anxious conversation with her birds, breaks in.
It yet lives.
Of course. Our progenitors crafted it.
A pair of Helia's finches come to join Wal's floating eye. They hover just out of Mogren's reach and swoop in to poke her when she's not looking.
And the Watcher will be forced to reckon with it if he wishes to confront Aethys.
The birds at last linger too long, and Mogren slaps them away. They burst into a cloud of essence, then reform, and fly in a screeching chorus back to Helia.
Guardian of Ukaizo?
A creature crafted by the Ingwithans to protect the machinery of reincarnation. It doesn't care much for visitors.
Will you divulge our every secret to the Kith, Mogren?
Mogren shrugs.
If it suits me.
Go prepared, Watcher. The Guardian will not stand aside, not even for the Herald of Bareth.
Won't Aethys take care of it?
It is not one of Galawain's mindless beasts. It has a heart and a mind, and it will throw neither away to oppose Aethys. And Aethys will not fight the creature. It would prove little more than a distraction for him, especially as my tsunami and Mogren's volcano couldn't stop him.
Why can't you just get rid of it?
It is its own creature, Watcher. It does not listen to us.
There is another topic we have yet to address.
The Pallid Knight holds up one gauntleted hand, and the other gods fall silent.
Tell me, Watcher, where do you stand? What do you think of Aethys' scheme to destroy the wheel?
Personally, I think it's stupid because then people won't reincarnate and eventually the world will die. With the gods' guidance, we might survive what Aethys plans. No, I don't like that. We can no longer count on the gods for guidance. Kith will have to figure this out on our own. That's a decent one, but that kind of sides with Aethys. I still don't understand what this all means. What will happen when Aethys destroys the wheel? Okay, that's what I want.
The Pallid Knight spreads wide her hands.
Think of the beyond as a reservoir, the in-between as storm clouds, and souls as rain. When a living thing dies, its soul enters the in-between. And when the in-between grows full, it releases souls into the beyond, where they wait to be redistributed to new bodies, new lives. The wheel is the process by which souls are moved from the in-between to the beyond, from the rain cloud to the reservoir, and from the reservoir into the living world. Without the wheel to mediate the transfer and redistribution of souls, the souls of all who die remain in the in-between. And without souls to fill it, the beyond gradually empties, trapping all of the remaining souls in existence in the in-between.
Then how did they exist at all in the first place, like the Ingwithans?
When the beyond is empty and the last creature on Aora dies, that is the end of everything. It is Rimergon's future, the one he wants for us.
How does that affect the gods?
Soul essence sustains us. We feed off it, off the little fragments you mortal kith shed like snakeskin as you pass into your next life. Without sustenance, we starve as any mortal might. We die and leave a great silence behind, an eternal emptiness from which nothing is born.
Nod.
You see then that we cannot help but argue. The fate of life hangs in the balance, and we are as ever beholden to our natures.
Tell us, Watcher, where do you stand?
This doesn't feel like the act of a caring god to me. Yeah, kind of. It does feel like an act of a caring god, just one that's misguided, or one that I can't understand. So we'll go with that one.
And so many will suffer needlessly for it.
Kith will have a few generations at most before the beyond is vacant of souls. And adaptability is your greatest strength. Aethys believes you will succeed.
How?
An uncaring god would not have that faith.
The Pallid Knight knits her fingers together.
In a few generations, they would have to build all of what Ingwith had before and make our own wheel. I don't understand how that they would do that. They wouldn't.
You would take his side? He destroys your wheel.
The Pallid Knight turns unblinking eyes on Wotica.
Put aside your childish notion of sides and open your eyes. You are made blind by your rage.
Aethys loves the mortals more than any of us. He has always been their greatest champion. He believes Kith will rise to his challenge. I am not so sure, but I look forward to watching them try.
Say nothing.
What if Aethys is right and Kith succeeds?
How would we rebuild the wheel?
What then?
We'll learn and grow as Aethys intends.
Whilst many eyes bounce and blink in quiet delight.
That would be quite amusing indeed.
And what if they fail? Then they die. And so do we. We have to help them.
Helia's voice rises, near to panic. Wotica drives her fist into her hand.
Help them? We should finally bring them to heel.
The Pallid Knight raises a hand and stares at Wotica until she falls silent.
Watcher, Aethys yet values your counsel.
The Pallid Knight's eyes bore into yours.
An impassioned plea from the Hound of Aethys may still temper his actions. Confront him at Ukaizo.
I'll try.
The future of Kith and the gods rests on your shoulders, Watcher, so I hope that you do.
The Pallid Knight's stern countenance softens.
Time moves swiftly away from us now.
The Pallid Knight spreads her hands before her.
Go, Watcher. Do what you must.
The edges of your vision begin to dim. Like a sun setting, twilight encroaches on your mind.
Wait, what happens if I fail to convince Aethys of anything?
You will not fail.
The Pallid Knight conjures a blinding white light in her palm that swiftly grows to engulf the room. Then, the crack of thunder rends the air, and you feel the floor drop out beneath you. You come to flat on your back, staring at an all too familiar ceiling. Alone, once again.
But I want to fight his toenail. We'll fight his toe, and if we can defeat his toe, he'll die. Because that's about all that we can hit.
I'm all ears. Tell me what's on your mind. Sure thing.
That's all for now. Let's talk to Adair real quick. See if he's got anything to say.
Hey, look who it is.
Nope.
I know that look.
Here you are. Ask, please. Diaz.
Ado, Cap, do you require my...
Nope. Alright, let's get out of here. That took a long time. Lots of dialogue. So, looks like we're going to have to end it here. Next time, I think we are going to go try and kill the Hellfire Colossus. And if we can kill him, then I'm going to go after the spider. Even though I really don't have an answer for her shattering scream. But we'll try anyway. So, please leave a like or comment below and feel free to subscribe for more full Let's Plays like this one. And thanks for stopping by.